Other way back. Cool. So the outliers are what you want to remember. So you're correct with the key of G. F sharp is the only note that's a bit different there, right? So that's what you want to remember. When you remember the one that is the weird one out, you will remember the other notes in the key. Or most times, the other notes in the key are usually kind of obvious. That outlier is the one that helps you to remember the weird one out that you could have forgotten if you were trying to remember each individual note. You get. So for the key of G now, what's that note? For the key of G?
F sharp.
F sharp. So whenever you're thinking of key G, what you actually want to remember is the thing that disturbs you, so to say. That F sharp is the one that disturbs. So if F sharp is the one that disturbs you, what are the other notes? So tell me the scale of G now, without understanding.
G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G.
Am I a good teacher?
You have.
Yeah.
You have. No. You have.
Okay, no problem. So F sharp is what you want to remember. You see that works, right? Now you remember we did C sharp just shortly before I turned on the camera. So in the key of C sharp, what are the notes for the major scale of C sharp?
C sharp. D. C sharp. D flat.
D sharp.
Oh, and D. You can use either D sharp or D flat now.
You can use either D sharp, or E flat.
Oh, E flat. Sorry.
Not the same.
C
D sharp, D flat.
Yeah, C sharp.
D sharp,
E
D flat. D sharp, E flat.
Alright.
Okay.
So C sharp. D flat.
C sharp.
C sharp. D.
D what?
D sharp. D sharp.
Remember patience again.
D sharp. E. E.
You're trying to guess, so you're sure?
I'm not sure. I'm just trying to get from the homework I did.
Well,
Trying
good.
to remember the frame.
So what are you trying to do right now in your brain? You're trying to tell me.
I'm trying to call what
think I know what
I'm trying to call it out back. What I did in the assignment.
Yeah.
Try to picture it back. I see the keys in my front, so I'm picking it from that. As if I'm seeing the tables.
Good.
I mean the table rather.
And you're trying to add the interval one after the other to get it.
Yes.
Good. I guessed as much that was what you're doing, but I wanted you to see it just to reconfirm. So if you're doing that actually, that will actually be really smart of you. That's smart of you to do that. And you should actually even get your answer if you do that. You actually should get your answer if you do that. So do it again. C sharp is your note.
C sharp.
Yes.
Tone. That's D sharp. D
sharp.
I mean D sharp, then E. E.
Relax. What did you add to D sharp? What did you add to D sharp?
I had the tone.
You added.
I added the tone.
Added the tone to D sharp.
Yeah. Okay, D sharp.
So calm down.
So E, that will be semitone. Then E to F, that will be F.
That's my girl.
That will be
Remember
F.
patience.
Yeah, F. Then plot it. That's the tone.
Sure it's a tone?
Yeah?
Are you sure it's a tone?
Oh, it's semitone.
You've already done 2 tones.
Yeah. F is semitone. That will be G sharp.
Yeah.
Then from G sharp, we're looking for a tone to G. G.
Concentrate. You're looking at me to get the answer in my face.
G.
You
That
should
will
be fully
be
focusing.
a tone, but that's not where I'm stopping. That will take me to A. That's a tone. Then from A, I'm also looking for a tone.
So let's back up to D sharp, C sharp. Yeah, let's go.
C
Be
sharp.
very calm. Do each one after the
C
other.
sharp. D sharp. F.
Okay, good.
From here, semitone. G sharp.
From where?
F.
Calm down. From where? F.
F.
And semitone to where?
I mean
down.
tone rather. Sorry.
Semitone is
Oh,
correct.
sorry. Can I do it myself from my head? The way I'm doing
Like
it is
on
stressing
paper,
me.
you know?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Yes, it definitely will stress you because you're trying to break into understanding it, and you're actually doing amazing. As a matter of fact, like I didn't want to push this to you yet until I saw you doing it. So I saw your brain could take it. Do you get it? And that's why like I'm spending time with you there, because that's not even what I was teaching you. What I was teaching was to think of the outliers, to think of the notes that are the weird ones. So you just call every other thing else, and just bear those ones that are the weird ones inside as you're moving. It's two different things. What you're doing now is actually the real work. Do you get it? The one you're doing now is the real work. The one I was showing you is not so much real work. Think about it. Now you're adding tone to G. You are keeping you're doing two things at the same time. Where you currently are, which is G. So you're doing three things in one brain. Where you currently are, which is G. Now you have to move the web in your mind and put a tone there. So now you know you want to move a tone from where? G. So first you have to know where you are, which is G. Then you're moving. You're doing a mental, like you're drawing in your mind, which is beautiful. That's what being a musician is. So G with the web, you're moving a tone to. Now you're having to. Now when you want to add a tone to G, you have to go back to the map, the picture of what? The piano in your mind. So in your mind, the second thing you're keeping is a picture of a piano, rather than looking at the one right beside you. And that's good. That shows actual development. You can now see the piano in your mind. That's beautiful. So then after you go through the piano in your mind, right, you add the tone to what? To G. G gets you to what? Is a white note. You can see a white note in your mind, right? And you can see the black note in front of G, but you still go to where? A. So G to A gives you your tone. Now you've got to come back to your web. You see the other picture you have in your mind, the web. You put what there? A, right? After you put A down in the web, you have to draw another web, right? Now you're going to ask yourself, what should I be moving? Is it a tone or semitone? And guess what you're going to have to recall? How many tones have I added so far? How many intervals have I used? Then you have to now think, oh, from my G to A, I moved the tone. Now I want to move tone again. So I most likely will be going from my A to where? You go back to the piano picture in your mind. What is A? A is white notes. Can you see the thought process? I'm trying to think like how you should think for it. Can you see that's quite an activity? Do you get? So you are doing the actual real work, which is good. And you are getting it. I'm a bit surprised. Right, but I didn't say that first. And I just joined you in it because, you know, with my teaching, I can do a bit of psychology. I just joined you at that point that you were in, and we took it up from there. And that's why at the point, what did you say? Let me write it down. Right? Because it's okay for it to still be quite a lot for the mind right now. And that's why I said you even did amazing. Do you get? You're having to retain the web in your mind. You're having to remember how many tones and semitones I've added so far. So you won't go and add a semitone where you should have added a tone. And also you're having to hear the picture of the piano in your mind at the same time. Right? So that's what someone like me would be able to do at small level easily. Right? Because I've done it over and over. So the one I was like drawing your attention to was a really, really simpler version of the simplest of the one you were actually like doing. That one is the real work. That one is the same thing we did here. The only difference is you're not even now doing it on paper. So you can't cross your error and I did it, let me do it again, let me cancel. Can you see there's some cancellations here? That one is purely in the brain. You're not writing anything down, you're just naming the new things you can imagine. So, but the other one, which is simpler, I do not but anyway, it's fine. You did amazing. And you're still going to get it back because you already brought it up. We'll go through it before going to the chords thing we want to actually do today. So the other one I was introducing you to is quite simpler. It's like thinking about the things that are disturbing that key. So that means in certain keys you have more white notes than black notes. That black note is what you want to remember as the relationship, the thing that disturbs the key. For instance, example again, in the key of G, what disturbs key G?
Sharp.
Can you easily forget key G?
No. Sorry, can you give me your glasses?
Okay. Can you easily forget key G? If you want to use your teacher's glasses, you are supposed to pay euros, is it not? For using your teacher's glasses.
Yeah. Relieving.
Looks beautiful too.
Thank you. Okay, this time I just...
Right. Sorry. You can't easily forget key G, right? Because it has to do with F sharp. You can easily just remember every other white note apart from F sharp. F sharp is the thing disturbing, and it's just one. So easier to remember, oh, F sharp is disturbing, right? In the key of F also is similar to G. In the key of F, every other thing is white note. The only thing that's disturbing the key of F is, let's check it out, look it up.
A sharp.
So, play me the major scale of F. Play the major scale of F. Without understanding. Use your right hand.
Okay, I think there is.
Calm down. No, just play the major scale. Major scale is all you have.
I don't get it.
What notes do you have for key F? The notes.
F,
Mm-hmm.
G,
Mm-hmm.
A,
Mm-hmm.
A sharp,
Mm-hmm.
C.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
This is
Yeah, don't play a chord. You're playing notes of the major scale right now, not chords.
okay.
So, what do you think?
This is a sharp.
Yes. So, what happened with the key of F?
I don't know.
What do you feel about the key of F in relationship to key C? What's the difference?
Just a bit complex. A bit, just middle.
In relation to key C, play C major scale for me. Major scale. That's a chord. That's a chord, major scale.
That is
You're funny. You didn't finish this scale. You're saying that is. Why didn't you finish this scale? Before you said that is it. Now when you play KF, so play KF. And also start from here now. No?
Sorry.
Look at what you're playing. Good. So what's the difference between key C and key F?
The A sharp. The A sharp.
What's the difference between key C and key G?
The F sharp.
There you go. Do you get that? So that was what I meant by what do you think about key F? What's the differences? Do you see? So whenever you want to remember key F, what do you have to remember?
A sharp.
Whenever you want to remember key G, what do you have to remember?
F sharp.
Can you see that suddenly the keys are becoming easier to remember? Instead of you having to remember, oh, for key C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. For key G, G with a tone, with another tone, with another semitone. You don't need to think about the tone and semitone all the time. What you need to remember are the differences when you're relating with another key, like key C. So easily you remember C now. You remember your key G. Easily you remember your key F. Makes sense? And when you get into all those other black keys too and the differences, do you understand? When you get into all the black keys and the differences, what you're going to have to remember is, now you're in white key space. When you play key G, you have more white notes. You have just one black. When you play key F, you have more white notes. You have only one black note. When you're playing key F, what's your black note from key F?
F now.
What's the black note from key F? The black note you have to observe when playing the scale of key F.
A sharp.
A sharp is correct. What black note do you have to observe when playing the scale of key G?
F sharp.
Do you get it? Because those are keys that are on white keys. There are also some keys that are in white keys, but they have more blacks.
Like
Like key B.
okay.
So what you're going to have to remember when you have a key that there are mostly black keys in it, you have to think of what white key only am I using. Did you get that? You're currently in the key of C, no white or blacks. Clear key. That's why we start from C. You're in the key of G, you still have majority white notes. The one black note is what disturbs you. So you'll easily remember that one instead of remembering the many whites. Right? You get the idea? Sounds beautiful, right? You had a large grin there, a large smile. So F sharp is the only thing you've got to remember, because you have majority of white notes. Now when you're in a key that is black dominated, there are many black notes in the key. For your scale, guess what you have to remember instead? The few white notes that are disturbing the black dominated key. Just like you did when you were in a white key, you had many whites. The black note is what you put in your memory to not forget. In key G, you are trying to remember F sharp. In key F, the only thing you're trying to remember is A sharp, because you're doing white notes for every other thing else. Now when you are in a black key, that's black so true. You know that you're going across the blacks. The only thing you're not having to remember are those white notes. Play me the key of C sharp major. So just play directly.
C sharp major.
Yeah, just play directly. So C sharp. Good. Now what's your next note? You can actually do your tone and semitone calculation still for the first one. And it should be way easier because you're holding the piano. Yeah. You don't need to look at my face. You should be able to be sure as you're moving if you're doing the right thing. So now see, you're currently on the white notes, right? You've been doing black notes since. So that's your first white note in that key. Go ahead. You're doing good. Careful. What are you supposed to add there?
Semitone.
No.
Oh, it's a semitone, sorry.
Sorry for itself. I'm kidding. Glasses look fine on you. It was making you look very, very serious. That's right, well, there you go. People don't clap.
That's okay.
How many white notes do you have there?
Like 3.
I don't want you guessing, you just did it. I need a precise number. So go back to it, do it again.
Eh?
Yes.
What are we doing?
So you do have to do.
What was I doing?
C sharp, key C sharp. Okay, G will work.
My brain is 2. Just 2 white keys.
Note. You have 2 white notes in that key.
No wonder I was on this. What's true?
So do it again. Plot it. But you can actually see it in your note too. But I want you to hold it to see it and be like, oh, now this tone got me to a white note. Do it again. The other time you did the E note and you even have F written clearly in front of you. So you need to be sure of what you're doing. As long as you're sure of the principle you're applying, you will always be right. Okay? So that's your first white note, right? Okay. What are you to add next now?
F sharp. The semitone.
Semitone, good. Which leads you to F sharp, good. Yes, you had 3 tones, 3 sets of tones, right? Now that's the third set in the other part. Then what next? Now what are you holding there, white or black notes?
White.
So that's the other white note you held since. Then there you go, you land back on C sharp. Is it hard?
No.
Can you see something happening? What are you following?
My book.
No, not your book. What did your book follow?
My book.
What did your brain follow?
My knowing.
What did your knowing follow? Is your knowing just based on anything? What's your knowing based on?
I don't know.
To play the major scale,
Okay.
what is your knowing based on to do the major scale in that way? What are you having to follow? Are you just moving from C sharp to D sharp? What is making you move to the next thing? Answer me. What are you adding to make yourself move?
Tone.
So the tone, semitone, semitone, what do you call that?
Major scale.
Major scale sequence.
Okay.
It's an interval sequence.
Sequence.
Tone, you cannot hold tone. Press tone on keyboard. There's no tone there. But you have, if I say press C on the keyboard, you can press C. If I say press D on the keyboard, you can press D. So tone is not something you can press. Tone is an interval. It's an interval system or interval sequence. Because after you add one type of tone, you add the next one, sequential order tone. The next one you're going to add is not tone. It's semitone as far as you're dealing with a major scale. There are some scales that will involve you to add just tone throughout. That's called whole tone scale. That's used a whole lot. In movies where someone is trying to think and remember something, you would have heard this sound before. This is tone, right? This to this, is that a tone? Answer no. This to this, is that a tone?
Semitone.
Semitone. So this is the next tone. From here to here, tone. From here to here, tone. From here to here, tone.
Tone.
Now listen to this. Does it sound familiar?
Yes.
Like what?
Like someone wants to know something or curious.
Yes.
Curiosity kind of sound.
Yes. In cartoons, when a child is trying to remember a memory, they will bring up one bubble like this on the head. So when they are bringing up that bubble on the head, you hear this. Oh, he has asked you before. Do you remember? He's like, oh, remember? Oh, I had the last one. He's like, oh, let me try to remember. You now bring flashback, right? Or the dreams the person is dreaming to become in the future. Oh, you would like to become a doctor in the future? Have you ever really deeply thought about who a doctor looks like? Oh, really? And that bubble comes out and they're thinking of one vision or something. Sounds familiar, right? That's whole tone scale. That's whole tone scale. Whole tone scale.
Spell it.
A scale that is built by whole tones.
Okay,
one
whole.
tone,
Okay.
not semitones. Right? We also have half tone scale. A scale that is built by what?
By semitone.
Yes, semitone scale. Like you have whole tone scale, half tone scale.
That's like tone and semitone.
Yes. So that scale on its own is built by semitones, all through only semitones. So that's different from what? Major scale, which is what?
Combination of both tones and semitones.
Yes, combination in a specific order. You have tone, semitone, tone, semitone. If you have tone, semitone, and you have tone, semitone, is no more major scale. Well, technically it's a type of major scale because the first two tones will give you the major third scale. More on that later. But it's not the exact natural major scale. If you do tone, semitone, tone, semitone, tone, that will give you natural minor scale. Even though you have tones and semitones in it, it did not follow what? Tone, semitone. Tone, semitone. So guess what I usually do with students? I would teach them just the major scale. Understand that so well. Because when you understand the major scale so well, you'll be able to compare. There are many other types of scales. I just only mentioned whole tone. Now I showed you where they use that. Not only did I show you the scale, I showed you where they use it, right? So that is like an extra, knowledge addition you'll have in terms of where it's being used. You could feel it that when someone wants to. I said remember. So the first thing you said was you want to dream. Curiosity. You're like la, 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 la. I even like that. Yes, curiosity. Yeah, I like that. That's way better than mine. And this is why, definitely I learned from students too. But the way you describe that sound now is different. You see, and me, I've always just had, remembrance in mind, which is the more popular one still though. It's not even everyone that will say that as curiosity, just so you know. But you can see we have different opinions to the same feeling. Does it mean we're wrong?
No.
That's also another thing you learn when you're a musician. The feeling that and way you see something may not be the exact same way someone else will see it, and that doesn't make them wrong. It's okay to have different opinion on something. All you have to do is just to discuss it. Probably you don't even need to eventually agree that it has to do with curiosity. You don't eventually have to agree that it has to do with remembering something, but you both can enjoy actually those different opinions and why the perspective to the same thing is different. And this definitely sounds like something psychological that should help relationships if you think about it properly. And most times, whenever we talk, that's when I'll be like, what made you think that? I'm interested in knowing, because it's not bad to see something from a different angle. The only point where it doesn't make any sense is where you are imposing your understanding, right? Like you must be able to see it that same way too. Or why shouldn't you know that? Some memories are coming to mind, like the bike one, right? But why did you do that? Well, maybe because I don't know. Or maybe because I saw it in this way, or I wasn't even seeing it fully. Do you understand? So that's a very, very important life principle. So going through music definitely helps you to not you're not seeing any opinion as bad. You're just only interested in knowing what made you see it that way. If I find out more, there's probably one cartoon or movie you watched where the person was curious and that sound came out, right? And heck, even what I said as well, you can still find the exact same thing you said inside. For instance, have you ever thought about being a doctor? Then the person is trying to remember. The person is trying to be curious at that point in time for what would it look like with myself in doctor uniform. So do you see that's kind of intertwined?
Yeah.
So I'm curious in thinking. You're distracting me with all that. You're distracting me. Yes. We know you are married, right? I could have kept doing this throughout the class too. So curiosity, you can still even find it the exact same thing you defined in what I explained. That you're trying to remember. You are being curious about how you would look like in a doctor uniform in the future. Therefore, you take time to think about the picture. How would that even look like? I will be with I need you to look up so not be distracted. So you're thinking about, I will be wearing a stethoscope, right? You're being curious. How would I even look like? The crazy thing is that I've never actually even thought about that. No, I'm actually just thinking about it. How would I look like, or how would you look like? It's easier for me to imagine you. Imagine it for you instead than for me, right? Because you're already in that line. So that you're probably wearing glasses like this, and that's why it probably came to mind the other time. You're like, this makes you look serious, doctor. I'm gonna say that too. Doctor like Dr. Mr. C. Olanipekun. Right? So it's still inside. So guess what musicians are actually trying to do? Trying to embrace each other's opinion on the feeling on the chord. Solo will be different. Chord accompaniment will be different. You can decide to use a chord 2 instead of chord 4. You can already relate to that one a bit, right? It still allows the song to move forward, even though it's a chord 2 instead of chord 4. right? So you're going to a chord 6 instead of you going to a chord 1. You just appreciate it. You don't necessarily are like, no, you are wrong. And of course, any musician that is doing that, you can easily tell they're probably a prideful musician and they're trying to look down on people or something. You should appreciate people and people's opinion. So in the key of C sharp, what you have to think about is what? The only thing you have to remember.
A sharp.
No, that's key F. Then for key G, the only thing you have to remember is
F sharp.
F sharp. For key C, you don't have to remember anything.
Okay.
Everything is
It's blank. White
blank,
keys.
white notes. So for the key you did now, which things you have to remember? You just did key C sharp.
I have to remember C sharp.
Look at it. In your key C sharp. Let's go.
Like in C sharp, I have to remember D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. I have to remember that it's only F and C.
Yes,
I
you
think that's
mentioned.
better.
You said you said you think it is better. That was what I was asking you. Which 2 things or 3 things can you remember instead about that key? Instead of all the different notes in the key. Do you get it now?
I get it.
So, but in this time around, what are you having to remember? F and C. Are they black notes?
Okay, white one.
Okay, white notes. Why are you having to remember the white notes instead for the key of C sharp?
What every other ones?
It's black.
They have sharp.
Yes, they have sharp. Nice one. Every other one has sharp. Every other one is black. F and C are the only white notes.
Please.
So why not just remember the only white notes? And you know that every other thing else is not white.
It's not like this.
So as you're moving across, now let's build the key of C sharp together without adding tone, semitone, by just only thinking quicker about the things that are weird in the key. Like the F and C are the weird, the outliers, the ones that are different from every other thing else. So let's build key C sharp together. C sharp. The next thing should be D something, right? You are moving forward. Is either a D note or a D sharp. So D sharp.
F.
Now you have to remember you're not moving to E because you're not moving a semitone. You're moving to F.
Yes.
So F is your first outlier, the first thing that is weird about that key because it's a white note in a land of black notes. Then the next is
G sharp.
G sharp. Then the next,
A sharp.
good. The next,
B sharp. I wanted to say C, but I was confused. I was trying to read A, B, C. C.
so C is your next note.
Yeah.
So if you're moving from A sharp and you're already past most of where you're coming from, you're not moving a semitone again until, that's the psychological way to see that too. You're not moving a semitone again until the very last, until you're moving back to what you started from.
Yeah.
So you're moving a semitone to where? C sharp should be your last first.
Yeah.
So F and C is all you have to remember.
Yeah.
So after your C, you get to where? C sharp. Do you get? So what are the notes for the key of C sharp again now? No, don't look at your book. Just tell me.
F and C.
Is what you have to remember.
Yeah.
What are the notes for the major scale of C sharp?
C sharp. D sharp. F. F sharp. G sharp. C.
Relax. You're on G sharp.
Oh, sorry. A sharp. C and C sharp.
So still in your mind, you're still thinking of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You're still following that. But now you're having to sharpen depending on the key.
Yeah.
So if you're in key of C sharp, you started from C sharp.
Yeah.
Guess what you're still thinking of in your mind, so to say.
I don't know. What I'm still
Can you
thinking?
stop doing focus?
Okay.
So guess what you're still thinking of in the key of C sharp? You're still thinking of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C.
Okay.
Because all these other notes are still C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But C sharp something, F sharp something, G sharp, A something, but you're still C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So when you're in key of C sharp, the next thing you're moving to is either going to be a D or D something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So after your D, whatever, whether D sharp or D itself, however you're moving forward, the next thing you're going to have to move to is what? E something or E itself. But the only difference now is if you are moving to E, you move to E. But if you're moving to E something, there is no E sharp. So you land on F. Does that make sense? C sharp. You add a tone to C sharp, you get D sharp. You add a tone to D sharp, you don't get E, and you don't get E sharp. You should have gotten E sharp, but you don't have E sharp. What you have is F. Make sense? Do you see now? Now you're on F. After F, what do we have in music? G. So now you're on F. Are you adding a tone or semitone to F? You're adding a semitone to F. That would not lead you to G. That would lead you to F sharp. Right? So now you're on F sharp. You add a tone to F sharp. What would that lead you to? You're already on F sharp. Next thing you're going to is a G something. Either G itself or G sharp. Makes sense?
Makes sense.
So you move a tone from F sharp, you get to a G sharp. No, just look at me for now. Maybe not. So G sharp, you add it. Yeah, you have G sharp. So you add a tone to G sharp. That would give you A sharp. So after G sharp, you move to A or A something.
Yes.
So from G to A, there's no H in music, right? So after G sharp, lands you on A sharp. After A sharp, you have to move tone or semitone. You either move from A sharp to B or B something. But if you move to B, that will be a semitone. If you are moving to B something, B sharp, it should be a what? C. Because you don't have B sharp yet, right now. But theoretically, later on in intermediate advanced class, there's actually B sharp. Do you get? Theoretically. But physically, practically, what you have is a C note right there next. If you're moving from A sharp, because if you move to B, it's a semitone. If you move to B sharp, that is also C. Did you get that? So that's how to think of the major scales easier. Now, briefly write out key C very quickly because of our time. So write out key C. Okay. So write out key C very quickly.
Write out key C.
Yeah. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C.
Okay.
So on top of C, D, E, F, G, B, C, I want you to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 on top of it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1.
Great. You're going to write chord 1, chord I, capital I.
Capital I.
Yeah, put a hyphen or in front of it. Your chord 1 is going to be 1, 3, 5. C. Write C. C. E. No, don't put comma.
Okay.
C, E, G. Why did you pick C, G? You pick 1, 3, 5 for triad chords. That's what you're actually holding on piano, right? You're already holding it. So now this is your chord 1. Why is it chord 1? Because you start picking from the very first note. You're a bit familiar with this. So yeah. So what will your chord 2 be? Your chord 2 is going to be D, you skip E, you pick F, you skip G, you pick E. These are called triad chords because they are 3-note chords. And it's actually tertiary harmony. There's different types of harmony. There's quarter harmony, quintal harmony, secondal harmony, right? But this is tertiary harmony. That means you're building your chords in thirds. So you're just skipping one note, picking the next, skipping one note, picking next. That next note is either a major third away or a minor third away later. So what will your chord 2 be? Then your chord 2, you're going to put small Roman numeral II. So II. So what's your chord 2 going to be?
It should be D, F, A.
Great, that's correct. So chord 2 is going to be D, F, E. So now I want you to just write out the names for the rest. You're going to fill it up as so chord I. That's chord 3. Then chord 4, IV, capital. I'll tell you why you're using capital and small later. Chord 5, that's V.
Capital.
Yeah, capital. Then chord 6, small VI. Then chord 6.
I've written chord 6.
Okay, chord 7. Small VII. Small VII. Then small VII. And superscript 0. So ES. So that's chord 7. So I'm sure you should be able to. That's all. Then you have chord 1 again, but on a higher octave. So you should be able to fill this up. You can actually do it right now. Do it right now, actually.
It's 458.
I know you'll be quick with it. That's why I say you should do it right now. Is it difficult?
No.
Yeah. Let's go.
Chord 6. Chord 7.
Done. Okay. DFA, GB, FAC, GBC. You don't need to put commas, okay? You just write CEG like that. Okay, so next time. GBD. So this is as good as on the piano. You have 1, right? Makes sense? Continue like that. Literally repeating. But this C is on a higher octave.
Okay.
That's why I ended it. Some people write 8 here, but we keep it as simple. C to C, D, E, F, G, everything repeats. So this is going to be what? G, B, D. This is going to be A, C, E.
And this is going to be B, E.
No, B, what? Look at it.
B, D, F.
That's correct. B, D, F. Okay, then you don't put commas.
Right.
Now, this translates to being a diminished chord eventually. That's why it has superscript 0. This translates to being a minor chord, the small Roman numerals. And the capitals translate eventually to being major chords, 1, 4, 5. So if you do that thing that I showed you last week where you calculate fourth semitones, then 3 semitones, these chords will tally with 4 semitones between C and E, and 3 semitones between E and G. This will translate to be 3 semitones between D and F, 4 semitones between F and E. That's the structure of a minor chord. And this will translate to be 3 semitones between B and D, and 3 semitones between D and F. But we'll work on that later. So your task for now is, this is key C. You're going to write for key G, all those different other 12 keys, and draw out the chords from them. 1 to 7. Same thing here, but these will definitely change depending on the key. This is what usually becomes your chord that you hold later on for songs.
Okay.
And this progression is what usually fits with each song for us to know what you're doing.
Okay.
So, Olanipekun, yeah. Ooh, Atiola. Makes sense? Chord 1. Olanipekun, yeah. But if you're in the key of G, all of this will change, or you still use the same key. So, yep, that will be all for today. Awesome one. This is Evelyn Olanipekun, and more music, grace, and anointing. You did awesome in class.